Hello YouTube, welcome to another one of my Duel Links videos, and today this is going to be a different type of video. I've never done one of these that I can remember. We have a new forbidden limited list and skill balance. Now we've been waiting for this for a while now. We knew it was coming, we just didn't know when. Actually, for the past couple weeks I had gotten into the habit of basically staying up till midnight, which is when the game will update my time. Just to see if we're getting any sort of notice. And today I was kind of tired. I was like, I'm just gonna go to bed. It's 11:45. And I was like, well, I'm gonna stay up 15 minutes. Let's see what happens. And lo and behold, here's the new forbidden limited list. Now I have not looked at it. You guys are gonna get my raw reaction. This is like I said, something we haven't done before. Quick points that I spoke about on stream every time the ban list would get brought up. I hope they address No Mortal Can Resist. That skill is toxic and it's making a lot of decks unplayable. They need to do something to that skill. Cyber Dragons, I think they need to take away semi-limiteds. I don't think they should be able to run Legacy Clash, Concentrating Current, Econ, Treacherous. I don't think they should be able to run any of that. That's really the main things. I think there are other problematic decks, but right now I kind of just want to get in there and look. I hope they address both of those things. And long shot, free Ixchel. Give Dark Lord's Ixchel back so that I can play them again because they were a really fun deck. Without further ado, let's get into it. Attention Duelist, the implementation of the forbidden limited ban lists, blah 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 blah. Changes made to skill effects will be applied to both PvP and NPC duels when updating version 4.7, which will become available sometime between May 13 and May 15. So in less than a week we'll have the skills, which is really good. Let's look at those first, and then we'll look at the hype ban list afterwards. Rebalancing skill will be applied to the game. Reasons for skill rebalancing. Grit. This skill will be given a harder activation condition in order to reduce the ability of offensive decks to attack without using resources for defense. Yeah, so you're not going to be able to turn one pass anymore. You're going to have to actually play Kuribos and or Kite Roots. I'm okay with this. Even though I use Grit, I'm okay with it. Mainly because of decks like Luna Lights. I'm not a big fan of Luna Lights. Luna Lights, they literally just sit there until you're forced to make a play, and then they kill you over an attack precision monster. I like using Grit on my Thunder Dragon deck just because at 30 cards it is a little bit slow, but I'm okay with this. Baggy's Leaves, we knew it was coming. The skill will be given a harder activation condition as more decks are not able to special summon level 5 or higher monsters multiple times since the addition of the skill. Yeah, so it looks like it's going to be harder to use it. I hope they also cap the amount of times you can use it just to make the skill fair. I'm already seeing that there's no mortal can resist there. Can't even hide the grin. What does it say? No mortal can resist. This skill consistently devastates graveyard based strategies. Really, Konami? So we're adding an activation condition. Okay, please make it to where you have to run Skull Servant. Just really get rid of this skill. This skill should not be in the game. Transcending Crystals, okay? I mean, this is because of Crystons. I hope they address Crystons a little bit more. It's another one of those decks that I think the deck itself, it's fair, but I don't think they should have access to semi-limited. If Blackwings can get semi-limited cards, I don't think Crystons deserve to have them either. So take away Legacies, Tretch, and Econ. You know, semi-limited something in the deck. And the skill, they'll probably move on to Heavy Starter, which some people were already adjusting, like my boy Sean, trying to play a different skill. The skill will be given a harder activation condition as more cards that can be activated in the graveyard have been added to the game since the addition of the skill. How they make it to where you have to actually run a Crystal Beast deck. Heavy Starter, oh, and I just said, the skill's probability will be lower as it currently allows players to get certain cards in their starting hand too easily. You know, Heavy Starter was like a double-edged sword because it wasn't like my monster cards. With my monster cards, you were guaranteed a non-level 4, with heavy starter, you could draw all your high levels, and your hand was unplayable. So let's see. Maybe, maybe the change will actually help the skill. I don't know. We'll see. We'll have to see. Fusion time. This skill will be strengthened to give elemental hero decks more strategic options. But why though? Heroes are already a really good deck. Though to be fair, that is mass heroes more than elemental heroes. So if it's just gonna help the elemental heroes, I'm down for it. Deckmaster effect Cyber Commander. We're adding an effect that lets you draw a Cyber Commander so that players can strategically increase their monster's attack and defense. I don't even know what this skill does, so I can't really speak much on it. Upgraded skills. Grit. If you had 4,000 or more life points at the start of the turn, when your life points will not fall below 1, works one time only. When this skill is applied, you can only special summon one monster until the end of your next turn. The skill will only activate once per duel. When this skill is applied. So basically, oh my god, this actually kills Grit for certain decks. Because basically what Konami is saying is, you're not going to be able to take a hit, survive with Grit, and then vomit on the board and OTK your opponent. You only get one special summon after you get hit with that Grit. Which, yeah, it really makes not running this... Yeah, it doesn't make it worth it if you ask me, because that means you're going to have to play cards to survive beyond your Grit play. Do you know what I mean? I guess if you're just going for one big monster like Saber Dance, like Luna Lights, you might be fine, because you can still go for your Cat Dancer, normal summon, and then tribute for the double attack. So maybe Luna Lights will still use it. I'm definitely not gonna be using it. I mean, like I said, I use this skill on Thunder Dragons, and it's a super special summon heavy deck. Baggy Sleeves. If your level 7 or higher monster is destroyed by battle, your normal draw in the next draw phase becomes 2 cards. This skill will only activate once per turn. Okay, once per duel. Okay, I knew they were gonna make it a hard, only a limited amount of times. I didn't think it would go to level 7s. This really hurts the OGEM strategy that I was using. I think OGEM is like level 5, or maybe level 6. I don't know. This really hurts Vashra. Let's see. My boy Steven was running this in super heavies. It doesn't really change super heavies. It changes because he's still running Vajra, but your stealth ninja, which if your opponent destroys it by card effect, it comes back. If they destroy it by battle, you draw 2. But again, are you really gonna run this just to get 2 cards one time after a level 7 or higher destroy by battle? I don't think so, man. I already didn't run Baggy Sleeves that much. I'm probably not gonna run it now. No mortal can resist. Please, Butcher, just destroy this skill. Can be used when your life points are at least 2,000 or less than your opponent. Okay. Okay. The only problem I have with that is that if your opponent has higher life for whatever reason, like if they're running an Armage deck, or if they have a DDD D-Arc and they gain life, like you're automatically cooked, right? I wish you had to take damage, kind of like Destiny Draw or something like that. But let's see, change all monsters in your opponent's graveyard to Skull Servants. Okay, this skill can only be used once per duel. Okay, that's fair. I'm good with it. I'm good with it. Once per duel, you play around it once, and now your opponent just can't brain dead spam this skill every single turn. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. I wish you had to take the damage as opposed to just being less life points than your opponent. But then at that point, I don't know. There's pros and cons for both. Transcendent Crystals can be used from turn 3 and onward by sending 1 to 3 cards in your hand to your graveyard. Choose the same number of Crystal Beast monsters from your deck as the number of cards sent to the graveyard and place it on your spell and trap. So the skill can be used once per turn and twice per duel. So you can use it turn 1. Yeah, I don't think it's worth for Crystals anymore. But then it depends on heavy starter, right? Honestly, I wasn't a huge fan of using Transcendent Crystals in Crystals anyway, because I'm the kind of person that will draw into the Crystal Beast. I was playing a deck just last night with 1 Crystal Beast, 30 card deck, and I was still drawing it in my opening hand. So I'm not that sad. I think Crystals will be fine. After I look at the ban list, maybe that'll change. The skill text will remain the same. Yeah, they just lower the probability. Like I said, if depending on how they did it, if you now have a guaranteed non-big boy in your hand, I think the skill is gonna be better. But we'll see. Fusion time can be used when your opponent's life points decrease by 1,000. When your life points, excuse me. Return 1 card from your hand, poly to your hand from outside your deck. Then you can add 1 level 4 or lower elemental hero normal monster from your hand. Oh, to your hand from your graveyard. Skill can only be used once per duel. Alright, that skill is still not good. Vanilla hero, yeah, you lost me there. Cyber Commander, if you have Cyber Commander on your field, the attack and defense of warrior type and machine type monster you control increases by 300. In addition, instead of conducting your normal draw, you can add Cyber Commander to your hand from your deck. So you basically choose, you know, once you're set up, if you want to use this skill, you can just draw into the commander, summon it, and then 300 attack boost. Okay. They address No Mortal Can Resist. I didn't see the grid one coming, but I see why they did it. I'm okay with it. Baggy sleeves, it's understandable. It was too easy to abuse it nowadays. Does it hurt Thunder Dragons? I don't think so. I think Thunder Dragons will be fine. The other skill was Grit. Now you maybe use Switcheroo to help with the brick hands. There's plenty of skills for Thunder Dragons to use, in my opinion. But let's look at the ban list though. This is the moment we've been waiting for, or I've been waiting for. At this point, you guys know, but I don't know. I don't know. May 21st, so 10 days. 10 days for this ban list to be implemented. Whew, I'm so happy. I just want some freshness to the game. Let's just look at this. Okay, here are details on how the Forbidden... Oh my god, yes. Here are the details on how the Forbidden Limited list will be implemented and what cards will be added to the list. Limited to 1, Desynchro. We're limiting this card as using multiple copies of this card and repeatedly special summoning Fortune Lady Water enables players to draw many times. You know, that kind of sucks because Desynchro is a nice tech. It's like collateral damage. Like, Fortune Ladies are the problem. The Fortune Lady Water engine is the problem. And they hit Desynchro. I mean, I'm not too sad, but, you know, for some meme decks, I'm a little bit sad. Cyberstein, yes. We're limiting this card as it allows players to consistently end duels without giving their opponent a chance to fight back by special summoning several powerful fusion monsters within a turn. We needed this. I suggested a life point cost 0 nuke, like just get that skill off. But I'm okay with it. Cyberstein to 1, it severely diminishes the consistency of that deck. I think people are still gonna play it. Maybe they're gonna run some way to search Cyberstein. It's gonna be slower though. I think it's good. I think this is good. I'm liking it so far. What else we got? Element Saver Malo. Decks that use this card have had a consistently high winning percentage over the course of many months. Therefore, we are limiting this card to prevent the metagame becoming stale. So they're talking about Invoked Purgatrio. This makes absolutely no sense. Absolutely no sense. Because assuming Cocytus is still at 1, you can't run Malo anymore. Does it make the deck a little bit slower? Sure. But they're element savers. If they're in the graveyard, you just switch the attribute. And then it doesn't matter. So the deck is like a tiny bit slower, a turn slower. Now they have to, you know, Now they have to go Molehu. They can just search Saber and search Invocation the same turn and go into Purgatrio. I understand that, but what? What a weird way to hit Element Sabers again. This is I don't know. I don't know how to feel about that. Limited to 2. Only 2 cards from the semi-limit list can be included in your deck. Magician or Dark Illusion. This card will be limited to prevent Dark Magician decks from using other powerful cards in conjunction with this card. Now that's good, but there are variants of Dark Magician that only run 1 Magician of Dark Illusion. That means they can still run 1 Tretch or 1 Econ or 1 Legacy Clash. I rarely saw people running 2 Magician of Dark Illusion. There are some decks, I've played some Dark Magician decks that run no Magician of Dark Illusion. So is it really gonna hurt the deck? Probably not. Vision Hero Vion. How long did we had this at 3? It went from 1 to 3 back to 2. Thank you, Konami. This is really good. Now what this does for the hero deck is they can no longer run Hey Trunade. Grit is getting nerfed. Grit is a big nerf for element heroes because they do the most special summoning out of every deck, out of any deck that uses Grit. Probably when you factor in the mass change and the Vision heroes. Yeah, this I think this is a good hit. You know, heroes are still strong. They're gonna have to shift their strategy from an OTK deck into something that, you know, it's a little bit slower. Sorry, I just hit my mic. It's gonna be a little bit slower, but it's kind of funny how Vion from 1 to 3, it was like, okay, here's our 2 good. This card goes to 1. Okay, heroes are pretty bad. This card goes to 2. Here's also all this hero support. Okay, heroes are broken. All right, this card goes back to 2. Crystron Ryan. What did I say at the beginning or during my my skill thing? Take away the semi-limiteds from Crystrons. Does it hurt the deck? You're fine with 2. I was running 3 in some variants of Crystrons, but you're fine with 2. I think most decks were running 2. If you were running 3, now you just have to go triple C3. But what all this is doing is taking away the semi-limiteds, which I think it's a good thing. There are other decks that have no semi-limiteds that I think would be fine with semi-limiteds, such as Black Wings. I think Black Wings having no semi-limiteds is kind of doo-doo when other decks like Dark Magician and Crystrons get semi-limiteds. Of course, in this ban list, they're kind of addressing that, but this is fine. I think this is a smart way to hit Crystrons. Transcendent Crystals is gone. I don't think they'll use it, and then they're gonna lose their semi-limiteds. Is the deck still good? Yes, but it's gonna have to adjust, and it won't be as sacky with the Econ takes and or Legacy Clashes. Limited to 3. Oh boy, what did they do? What did they do to my Thunder Dragons? Thunder Dragon Dark. I'm one of the few people that run. Well, if you run 20 cards, you only run 2 Dragon Darks. If you run 30, you run all 3 of them. Oh, well, spoiler alert, Konami. Gold Sarcophagus. Wow. This is actually really... This is a pretty big deal. Thunder Dragons are losing Grit. I was kind of okay with that, but now we're losing Gold Sarcophagus, or the most we can run is 2 Dark, 1 Sarcophagus. I don't think I think that's gonna be the ratios. I don't think you'll go triple Sarcophagus, no Dark. That makes no sense. I don't think you're gonna go triple Dark if you don't have to. So I think 2-1 is gonna be the ratio, and that is a huge deal, man. Losing 2 Gold Sarcophagus, it's pretty big, especially if your deck was not heavily reliant on Levianeer like mine was. I only have 1 Levianeer. So now you just have to, you know, you're gonna depend on Light Sworns to get the engine started. Yeah, okay, I spoiled a little bit. I didn't think I didn't think they would take away Gold Sarcophagus, man. Especially because this is an expensive card and this is free to play. So obviously the card they're gonna stop playing is the card that's in an EX structure deck, Konami. You're gonna lose money on this. What are you doing? But I think we'll be fine. You know, this means I get to play more Thunder Dragons, so I can lab the new builds. Shiranu Esquire. Decks that use this card have had a consistently high winning percentage over the course of many months. Therefore, we are limiting this card to prevent the metagame becoming stale. So this takes away Cosmic Cyclone from Shiranui. If you pair that with the No Mortal Can Resist nerf, I think that's big. But I think Shiranuis are fine. Some decks were not even running No Mortal. They were relying on level augmentation. And Squire being to 3, yeah, it takes away the Cosmic Cyclone for them. I really like this though, that the limited to 3, it's no longer just E-Sabers. Now we have other decks. Thunder Dragons were not running Cosmic Cyclone, so it's whatever for them. But yeah, Shiranuis now don't run Cyclones, which means they're just gonna put more back row, and that's gonna be pretty annoying. Okay. No way, dude. No way. Charge of the Light Brigade to 3. They just murdered Thunder Dragons. Oh my god, I'm actually a little bit heartbroken. I just said you're gonna have to rely on your Lightsworn engine. What Lightsworn engine? No Charge of the Light Brigade in Thunder Dragons. No Charge of the Light Brigade in Thunder Dragons. Why? What do we do now? 3 Raiden, 3 Raikou? That's gonna make the deck so slow with no Gold Sarcophagus. I mean, part of me is happy because it's like challenge accepted. I'm gonna lab a lot of Thunder Dragons so we can figure out how we're gonna do this. But they just, oh my god. I think now Thunder Dragons are gonna have to be a 20 card deck. Yeah, I think no more 30 card deck, just 20 cards, 3 Raiden, 1 Sarcophagus, 2 Dark. I kind of have the build in my mind already. Wow, dude, rip 30 card Thunder Dragon decks. This legitimately hit me hard. Oh no. This card will be limited to 3 as it is widely used in decks that utilize graveyard decks. Yes. Yes. But you're only hurting Thunder Dragons, let's be real. Shiranui Lightsworn was not, people would play that every now and then, but it wasn't a thing. This was a thing. You know what you're doing, Konami. Just say, we don't like Thunder Dragons. Here you go. Play something else. Buy DDDs, and that's it. Wow, dude. Everything else I can see. Oh, they didn't free anything, by the way? Nothing got freed up? Wow, everything's still in jail for... yeah, everything else still in jail. No freebies. We got nothing. Dude, why did they do this to my Thunder Dragons? I'm about to not go to sleep and start labbing some decks. No Charge of the Light Brigade in Thunder Dragons. It has to be. It has to be, boys. 20 card deck. 20 card light Thunder Dragons is gonna have to be the way. We might have to go the YT-Dan version with the Divas and whatnot. And Crystron Ryan. I'm sorry, not Ryan, Juan. Wow, okay, there is my reaction. I'm kind of in disbelief at how much they hit Thunder Dragons. Shiranui, they got rid of No Mortal and they have no more Cyclone, which it's good. The deck is still gonna be super good because the core engine of the deck is so small. You can play anything you want with it. There are some variants though. I have seen people that don't play back row in Shiranui. They play Gold Sarcophagus, so now they won't be able to do that. But this deck is fine. Just play back row. Shiranui is fine. Thunder Dragons is sad boys. Crystons, they just lost semi-limiteds. Heroes, they lost semi-limiteds and they lost grid. Dark Magician, they lost one semi-limited. E-Saber hit makes no sense. I don't think this is gonna be relevant at all. Like the deck is just a little bit slower again. It was slower when Sorcery Conduit got nerfed. Now it's Destiny draw, so you have to take 2000 life. Now it's again a little bit slower because you can't just search the fire and search Invocation the same turn to go into Purgatrio. Now you're gonna have to wait until one of your E-Sabers is in the graveyard. Cybersting, thank you. This Synchro, kind of like a, you know, casualty for no reason. They could have hit the Fortune Lady engine, but they wanted to leave Fortune Ladies alone. Just get those FTK decks out of the way. Skills, I'm really okay with skills. Like, I have no complaints about the skills. I'm still in disbelief about Charge of the Light Brigade. Oh my god. Alright, those are my thoughts. Let me know down in the comments how you feel about this. Let me know if you like this kind of video. It's pretty long. But just because I was very genuine, I didn't have my thoughts, you know, already gather and then just give you the rundown. This is a raw reaction. If you like this, please let me know. Leave a like, leave a comment, and then maybe in the future we can do more discussion videos like this. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, like, comment, and subscribe if you want. And till next time.